We're live.
Yeah, it's just give it 2 seconds.
Okay.
And we are.
Morning, Todd. Steph, looks like we're live. Not sure what that was. Okay. Good morning. This is the Q2 FY21 Q2 Marketing How to Achieve meeting. So I didn't post a video. I'm not sure what a video would have served to do. We launched our marketing agility project beginning of April. The epic is linked. Underneath that epic, there are sub epics, which I also linked, which all have the KRs in them. So the way we're doing OKRs is essentially think the efficiency project, but we meet weekly, and but the same sort of thing. And we go through the MVC, which is essentially the KRs weekly. Here are the projects, and here are kind of the cross-functional leaders for each of those. And our MVC due date is actually June 30th. So it's a month before the quarter's over. And then we will kind of decide if there's a phase 2 for each of those projects, or if not, the project will be completed. But this will also allow us to have our Q2 results early and understand what our Q3 OKRs are going to be. And all updates are in GitLab, and all the issues and epics are linked, and our meeting's Friday. So that's how we are going to achieve. A couple of updates from the last thing. I did add a website first KR that Sid had recommended to the Strengthen Our Core project. And we're tweaking one of the KRs that's still TBD in the marketing project management simplification project. Sid, would you like to, is it vocalize or verbalize? You were first.
You can use either, I think.
Okay, good. Would you like to verbalize number 4?
Yeah, thanks. It is totally cool not to do a video. It's just to prevent a long intro, and this wasn't a long intro, so all good. And yeah, thanks for the OKRs. I love that you took them from the Marketing Agility project. I'd like to use maybe a bit of this time to try to see if there's any KRs in 896 that we can make more measurable. Anytime I see things like paths, I think like, oh, maybe we already have a guess how many paths we have. And anytime I see the word operationalize, I think like, maybe we can get a little bit more specific here.
Yeah, I like that. Let's talk about those in particular. I'll share my screen.
Thanks for that.
So the core usage insights is where we're taking the efficiency project and we're trying to turn it into something that happens all the time. And so that's why operationalized is the word we were using there. Maybe what we could do is say we add X number of accounts per period that are core users. And we just say, are we hitting that bar or not?
Yeah, that's an approach. Another approach can be, I think the toughness here is the number of data sources you have. So we'll have the docs as a data source. We had the install button, I think, as a data source. So that's a dimension. And the other dimension would be doing it continuously, or a batch-based approach. Like, let's aim for at least having that updated daily, for example. And then the outputs, like, for example, getting it to Salesforce. So don't do what I say, but a way to operationalize it would be to say, we're getting data from the docs and the installer into Salesforce on a daily basis.
Great.
All
Great.
automated.
I'm gonna write that down as a example, and then we'll go back and do these docs. Great. I'm just going to add a work in process to this. So you know that we're going to change that. All right, great. So free trial CTA changes implemented on top 5 pages for trial with demonstrable improvement in click-through. Let's just define demonstrable.
Great. And this one has a number in it. I missed that. So my apologies.
Yeah, but I think if we could say there's an improvement
for sure.
X%, that would be good. Okay. That. And this one, nurture paths for top CTAs revised, implemented.
The only thing that comes to mind is like a number or something. Like, okay, what are the, like 5 or something? I don't want to pick the number.
Number of emails potentially, or touches. Touches improved. And then the last one here is what I dropped in as your other idea, which basically was all content starts as a web page, blog post, or public video before it becomes slides.
I love that one. So
I don't know if there's anything else to change on that one, but I think if we add a few of
you can change all to 100%, and then that makes it seem more specific.
Okay. All right, great. That gives us something to go tweak. Thank you for that.
Thanks for working with me.
And all right, let's go back to I think what I want to do on this one is integration of video channel content on about number of pages that video content is integrated. I think that's, other than that, that one's pretty good. Are you okay with that?
Yep. Love it.
Let's see. On this one, I think I could add self-service best practice for going live, documented and tested promotion. X number of events using the promotion strategy process completed. What do we call them? GitLab team members, is that the right way? Okay. By the way, if people want to drop while we're doing this, feel free.
This one's pretty okay. I don't have a ton to add. You could add a few 100%, but yep, that's a good question.
This was a discussion we had anyway, which is there are thousands of fields. So we decided we're just going to standardize a subset, and then it's an exception to use any of the other fields. So we could just say how many standard fields.
Great.
And we're still waiting on this one. So this one will have a number on it.
Yeah, so yeah, modular email templates created and launched, like you could say used X time or something like that instead of launched.
So it's funny, the actual one that we're looking for a measurable key result, but it's not going to be this one, because what we realize is that our number of issues is probably going to go up, because when we use GitLab better, we're going to be actually creating more issues, but closing them faster. So we're probably going to replace it with a closed issues metric, but there will be a measurable metric on this one. We just have to decide what it is, and the team's working on that already.
Yeah, and this is a tough one to measure. I don't have any other ideas and any good ideas. One thing you could consider is measuring cycle time. So issues shouldn't stay open longer than X on average or something like that.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'm going to just put it here for them to consider. So.
Because and the context for the while you're typing for everyone else is like we have issue sprawl, so we should be better at like closing out issues. We're just not going to do that, or we did it and we took the step and now we'll move on. And that's one of the toughest things. The natural cadence in organizations is that stuff just stays open for a long time.
And part of the reason for us is that our issues are too big. So we have to make the issues smaller so they're easier to close. But that means there's going to be more of them. And we have a pretty good metric for this one that Evan is still negotiating with me, but I like it. So, all right. Good. So we'll probably have one more revision of these, but and I'll just ping you in the CEO channel when those are ready for if you'd like to take a look.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to add?
No, but if we have a minute, Todd, I'd love what you think of the Epic's issue structure so far.
You mean in general for OKRs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I like about what we're doing here is that it's much easier for us to change the KRs on the fly and make tweaks. And then it's also much easier for my team to work on them and track them, and for me to find those results. So this is working really well for me so far. And now part of that is we cheated because we started the marketing agility project a month ahead, or a couple of weeks ahead. So we already had the content going, but the metric is for Q1 OKRs, we got together as a team and it took us about 5 hours as a team to create the Q1 OKRs. For Q2, we've spent time on the marketing agility project, but the OKRs took me an hour by myself to finish because we already had the projects kind of spec'd out. And it was much easier because I wasn't trying to format that. Formatting that page ended up always being a problem, and then you'd have to go in and fix it, or somebody would, and it was never quite right. So now I think it's much easier because an issue is a better place to track that, and just linking the Epic. So I think it's been good.
A logistical clarification there. When you say it took you 5 hours, was that like the strategic planning around what you're going to doing, or what you were going to be doing, or the tactical implementation of putting it on the page and creating the mapping work?
It was both. It was both. So it ended up being some percentage of that. So like I said, we cheated because we've been doing that work up until OKRs started, but just formatting the OKRs appropriately. And it's just easier from my perspective to do it this way and link. And also then anybody who wants to can link to that issue or that Epic and see what we're up to. And I think that visibility is bebetter than sort of the unlinked thing that we had before. It's just cleaner.
Thank you.
All right. Well, unless somebody has any other information or concerns, then we can end this. So thank you very much. Have a great Monday.
Yeah, thank you. Great OKRs.